This is Steve again. I'm just a touch east of Catawissa, Pennsylvania. I'm going to start this video off by showing you this covered bridge. It's called the Hollings Head Bridge, and it's in pretty good shape. Cars still go across it, and it is going over what's called Catawissa Creek. And since I've just been here a couple minutes, already 2 cars have gone over that bridge. And I'll come to the front here, and you can see the front of the bridge. And now that's 3 cars. Must be a pretty busy bridge. You can see the cars going through it. And that's going, as I said, over Catawissa Creek. And what's interesting about this is just behind me is a little bit up on the hill. You can see the grade of the Reading Railroad's Catawissa branch. So it's only 100 feet or 200 feet from this covered bridge. So that's the first start of my video here. Okay. I'm back in my car, and I've gone about an additional 6 or 7 miles. I'm outside of the small town of Mainville. What I've got ahead of me here is the roadbed of the Catawissa branch. It's going up grade slightly, and I'm going to drive along here as we go, try to find our way to the famous Mainville Fill. And that's what we're after today. And you can see we're kind of getting much higher. Pause it for a minute and go a little bit further now. Picking it up here about a half mile further, still in the Catawissa branch right of way, driving, and we're about to enter a quite scenic cut, curved cut, which is going to bring us out near the Mainville Fill. See, we're almost through the cut. Rather impressive cut. And now we have just gone onto the Mainville Fill. So let me pause it here, and we're going to take a look. We're on top of a massive fill, roughly 120 feet high. It was put in the 1920s. You can see down quite far into the valley there on this side. And it's curved. I'll come to the other side here. You can see how far down that goes. It's about 100 plus feet down. What's very interesting is originally there was a bridge in this location. I think there were a couple bridges in this location, but they were just a little bit offset. And what's interesting here is you can see the remaining stonework of the bridge abutments that were here before the fill was put in the 1920s. You can see through the trees there. It's really nice, massive stonework. I may try to get it from a lower angle if I'm able to. It's private property, so I'm not entirely sure. But in any event, that goes back through that cut we came through. And we now proceed on the fill, and I'm going to get in the car here and go to the other end of the fill. So hold on a minute. Here we go again. I'm going to slowly drive over the rest of this fill. My understanding was that the bridge was roughly 900 feet long, so I assume the fill is a similar length, and it's slightly curved, as you see. And when I get here to the other side, I'm going to stop and take some more shots of it, as well as the additional old bridge viaduct. So we're still on the fill. Apologize for the bumps, but this road is not in any way, shape, or form well maintained. So I'm going to stop about here, and just give me one moment, please. In the day, when the Reading ran trains on here, that's the town of Mainville in the distance down in the valley. Obviously there's a lot of trees here, and I wanted to take it early in the spring before the view's totally obliterated. But looking back at the fill, we're coming to the other side of it now, and here is the other abutment for what was at one time the bridge before the fill was put in. And for as old as it is, probably be built in the 1800s. I would guess around 1860s to 70s. I don't know for a fact, but that's when the original Catawissa Railroad was constructed. I think the Reading took it over roughly in 1870, but that stonework is so impressive. You could see it. You could actually walk out to the end of it if you wanted there. But anyways, you can actually walk or bike or ATV the roadbed quite a long ways here. If you continue on this, it's all pretty scenic. You will hit an existing tunnel, which is on my layout. It's called the Schuman's Tunnel. I would guess that's 3 to 4 miles further east from here. I've been through that a couple of times. I don't think I'm going to make a video on that, because if you go on online on YouTube, there's several other good video producers that have actually done the Schuman's Tunnel, and even further east from that have done the Lofty Tunnel. In fact, a gentleman just did a Lofty Tunnel video here in the last few days. I believe his name is Kevin Salisbury, but anyhow, that's my vehicle, and that's a quick tour of the absolutely massive Mainville fill. As I say, probably 800 to 900 feet long and 120 feet high, and unbelievable tonnage probably of rock and fill that were put in here to make it. And again, that's the town of Mainville, PA. So I'm going to pause here once again. I'm going to try to go down to see if I'm able to access those abutments. If I'm able to, I will add to this video. If I'm not able to, I will call it a day. So I was able to get down here, and I've got an abutment picture right here, and the car's about to pass me. You can see how high it is. I'm going to try to get a little bit better angle and get a better camera view if I can. You can see the fill up there we just came across, and it's not a great view, unfortunately. It's in the sun, and the sun's kind of obscuring the view, but you can see the fill here. Here's my hand. I'm trying to, for some reason the camera's not really cooperating, but that's the top of the original bridge abutment right there. All stone. I'm down in the town of Mainville below the fill. I don't think I have access to the other old abutment. I can see it from here, but it's on private property. But you can see how high that fill is. That's the top of it, where those trees are. And just almost like in a big horseshoe curve. Anyhow, that's probably it today for this Mainville fill. I'll try to do some additional videos of some of these areas. As I say, I'm not going to do the 2 tunnels because they've been well documented already, but I'd like to do some video in Catawissa, Pennsylvania, and maybe a few additional places as well. But this is a very impressive structure. At one time, I can't imagine, trains going over that fill. Back when there were no trees, it must have been pretty awesome. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching this. Appreciate it.